This is where we need to be eyes on.
Hey guys, this is Fox Green back again, this time with some action-packed Milsim gameplay. Here we're setting up our base camp before the game starts. In this game we're Russians and we're against the Ukrainians. A lot of the attacks on the first day happened at night time because the game started at 8 PM. I rise early the next day to carry out some drone reconnaissance on the enemy team, and I get to use my drone dropping bomb mechanism for the first time in a Milsim event.
I'm thinking of just sending up the drone on its own first, give it a scoot around and see if I see any movement.
The bomb dropping mechanism drops Nerf bombs which whistle as they fall. I came up with this concept about 8 months ago, and I hope that it'll kick off in Airsoft and become a big thing. With my drone nearly set up, it's time to start the reconnaissance. It's still early in the morning, so I hope to catch the enemies as they wake up and start to leave their fob.
Okay guys, clear?
Let's look at the compound first. That's where I'm expecting the most activity this morning.
This makes it fucking too
My
easy.
DJI Mavic has zoom capabilities which makes it very easy to see enemies from a greater height.
Okay guys, this is where we need to be eyes on, so... Oh no, yeah. Men there.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
They're doing something. They're just fucking...
To be quite honest lads, you might as well drop a bomb on these. There's a group there guys, we want to do a drop in those fucking...
Check this here, here.
Okay, coming home.
With enemies spotted and permission from the commander to do a drone strike, I decided to fly back and rig up the first bomb. In this clip you'll see my drone dropping mechanism quite easily. It's a very simple, non-electronic device which can be dropped purely by movement of the drone.
Good.
With the payload in the air, the enemies are spotted advancing on our fob.
Good. Oh, there's a guy in the compound.
Holy hell.
Will we dropping these guys lads?
It's extremely windy. You're going to have to aim very far left.
I fly all around the enemy's fob looking for the best targets to pick. I soon decide to go for enemies that are closest to our position.
There we go. Oh, they hear it. Oh, perfect.
These bombs make an intimidating whistling sound as they fall to the ground.
We push up and just take the bunker now.
We decide to mobilize and meet the enemies head on.
Jesus, what's the green?
However, we soon come under heavy incoming fire and get ambushed.
Hit. Give me a minute. Where are the backpacks?
Being a Milsim game, combat tourniquets are applied to bring players back to the game.
How far?
Shit.
The enemies are all dug in on this ditch line.
I'm covering you medic him.
With one well-placed shot I take out the first enemy on the ditch. And then a second.
I think he's down.
Fighting ensues here for a while with heavy casualties on both sides. I decide to push back and do some recon for my teammates as they push up.
Now we have Dark are over here somewhere behind these tree lines here.
Keeping watch here on their fob. There is 8 people still outside.
Our squad Atlas are dug in on doing recon and observe enemy movements coming towards our direction. I decide to move in with the airstrike.
Yeah, if you let us know when the attack starts, we'll then try and find out how these guys shooting the ass over.
Roger, Dark. I have a drone inbound to your position.
I'm now in position over those enemies that Atlas had called out to me on the radio previously. A little time later I get the perfect opportunity and decide to drop.
start running around, they could hear it.
With the impact landing within 20 meters of 2 players, 2 enemies have been killed, and they soon take a knee. After this successful drone strike, I decided to do a bit more recon and find an enemy team advancing on the east. I quickly land the drone and gather one teammate and decide to meet them head on by setting up an ambush. We move very slowly and take plenty of stops, watching and listening for movement. It doesn't take us long to get to the eastern edge of the woods, where the enemy squad were last spotted with my drone. I decide to set up an ambush while my teammate pushes on further to draw out the enemy. I hear my teammate a short time later get shot, and soon enemies are advancing on my position. Managed to take out some of the enemies through the dense undergrowth. Knowing that I'm pretty much surrounded, but the enemies don't know where my position is, I decide to get my pistol ready. The enemies tried to flush me out with some random shots into undergrowth, but I know they cannot see my position. I soon see my captured teammate being escorted by an enemy player. They think he's escorting him back to our fob, but in reality he escorts him to me. You can hear him laugh as I take out the enemy player that's escorting him. He knows his cunning plan has worked. I hear a little bit of a crunching noise behind me and spot an enemy right beside me. That's now 4 enemies down, a full 360 degrees around my position, with a 5th advancing slowly towards me. The enemies now start to home in on my position a bit better, and I'm taking quite a lot of incoming fire. It's not long before I soon get taken out.
Hit!
As I'm aware these enemies are going towards our fob, I quickly get back there and respawn and then push up again and create a second ambush point. My plan here is just to slow the enemies as much as possible while our reinforcements, which are attacking the enemy's fob in the town, come back. This is the same group of enemies that I was just in contact with about 20 minutes earlier. I like to keep shooting and scooting to try and confuse the enemy.
This is Eagle 1, we have enemies approaching the fob. They're currently in the position where the jeeps turn.
I now move into my 3rd shooting position and wait for the enemies to advance slowly towards me.
We need reinforcements at the fob. I repeat, this is Eagle 1, we need reinforcements at the fob. Fob is
At this point I'm only 300 meters from my
Enemies
fob,
advancing.
so if I can't slow the enemies down, they'll be in there in no time at all. It's time to get sniping. It's clear that the enemies don't know where my position is, and I must be careful because these guys can get medicked in at any stage. This player is planning on getting to his buddy that I just shot. I just watch him instead of shooting him, enjoying the moment that I'm in. While I was focused on these players, how that buddy got to his friend and medicked him back in. You could clearly see he knew where I was, but I took him out quicker than he could take me out. At this point, enemies are moving very quickly all around me. I nearly shoot this guy, but realise he's on my team and is coming back from respawn. I decide to go back to the fob and try and gather some recruits, as I won't be able to hold this position much longer. Back at the fob, I find some of my team players, but realise that we're getting attacked from the north through the woods.
You're dead?
I get up to this player to try and medic him back in.
Where's your tourniquet? Where is it? Which one? This is gonna be a shit job, but we'll get you back in. Alright. You can fix it now. Oh, there. There's a sniper right there.
I move up about 25 meters in front of my fob and take my 5th shooting position. Enemies soon arrive. I'm in a nice elevated position looking down on multiple enemies trying to attack up the hill against me. I managed to take out quite a lot of enemies from this position. I managed to take out this guy medicing his buddy back in. However, when I take this guy out, he has already got his player back in, and he soon turns around and shoots me. Dead, and with the enemies on our heels, the enemies soon push into our fob. As always guys, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed and hit that notifications button. Thanks, this is Fox Green.